Have you ever wondered why certain numbers keep crossing your path, why they appear in the quietest corners of your day, as though the universe itself is whispering to you through invisible signs? What if I told you that luck isn't something that simply happens, it's something that awakens, something that moves through your awareness when you begin to notice the patterns that have always been there? In the ancient understanding of Buddhist philosophy, there is no randomness. Every number, every repetition, every encounter carries within it a pulse from the cosmos, a message wrapped in silence, waiting for you to listen. When you look closely, you realize these numbers aren't mere coincidences. They are living energies, sacred frequencies, flowing through the rhythm of your life. They rise and fall with the same harmony that guides the tides, the stars, and the very breath of existence. The moment you open yourself to them, your own energy begins to shift. You align with something vast and compassionate, something that has been guiding you all along, waiting for you to recognize its touch. Today we journey into these numbers not as digits, but as vibrations. They are not predictors of fate, but mirrors of energy, showing you where your intentions are flowing, where your balance has been lost, and where abundance quietly waits for you to awaken to it. Through the lens of Buddhist wisdom, we will uncover what these sacred numbers reveal about your path toward wealth, peace, and spiritual harmony, not the kind of wealth that glitters in the world's eyes, but the kind that fills your soul with quiet certainty. You see, in the great unfolding of life, nothing arrives by accident. The numbers that repeat in your world are invitations from the unseen, to pause, to reflect, and to remember that every heartbeat, every decision, every small step forward is connected to a greater pattern. The energy you give, the thoughts you nurture, the actions you take, they all ripple outward and return to you in forms both visible and hidden. So take a deep breath. Let the noise of the world fade for a moment. You are about to step into a conversation with the universe itself. Listen closely to these numbers, for they are not here to predict your destiny. They are here to remind you of your power to shape it. Tell me, when you look at the patterns in your own life, what is the universe trying to say to you? Number 8, the silent builder of unshakable prosperity. There is a certain kind of strength that doesn't shout. It doesn't seek validation, applause, or attention. It simply builds quietly, steadily, and with purpose. That is the essence of number. It is the vibration of those who do not rush their destiny, who trust the timing of the universe, and understand that every small effort today becomes the foundation of something eternal tomorrow. While the world chases fleeting success, the energy of 8 walks slowly but leaves footprints that last beyond lifetimes. In Buddhist philosophy, number 8 carries a sacred weight. It mirrors the Eightfold Path, the heart of wisdom that leads to enlightenment through right understanding, right action, and right mindfulness. It reminds us that true wealth is not gained by force, but cultivated through balance and integrity. The energy of 8 teaches patience. It whispers that prosperity flows naturally to those who are grounded, who nurture discipline as their meditation, and who treat every challenge as an opportunity to deepen their awareness. If you observe the shape of 8, you'll see infinity resting in perfect balance. It has no beginning, no end, only continuous flow. What you give returns. What you sow comes back multiplied. This is karma in motion, not as punishment or reward, but as pure energy echoing your intentions. Those aligned with the vibration of 8 do not fear loss, for they understand that energy never truly leaves, it only changes form. The wealth they create isn't only material, it's spiritual strength, emotional stability, and the quiet confidence that nothing real can ever be taken away. When you begin to align with this vibration, you'll notice that your life starts to feel different. Chaos loses its grip, doubt softens. You begin to act with intention instead of impulse. Number 8 doesn't bless those who chase blindly. It supports those who move with awareness. It asks you to look within and ask yourself, Are you building your life from fear or from trust? Are you working for the illusion of stability, or are you embodying the peace that naturally attracts it? So the next time 8 appears, a timestamp, a receipt, a random message, pause for a moment. The universe is asking you to trust the structure you're building. You are being reminded that wealth doesn't arrive through force. It flows through consistency, balance, and faith in the unseen. True abundance, after all, is not measured by what you own, but by how peacefully you can let it grow. Tell me, are you ready to build something that lasts beyond this lifetime? Number 14, the silent force that shapes your destiny. There is a moment in every life when growth no longer feels loud or visible. It becomes still, subtle, almost invisible, yet deep beneath the surface, something sacred is forming. That is the energy of number 14, the quiet architect of destiny. It doesn't rush to manifest, it prepares. It builds the unseen foundation while you are still learning, still doubting, still gathering the pieces of who you are becoming. The universe, through this number, whispers, "Keep going." The soil is shifting, even if you can't yet see the bloom. Number 14 is not about instant rewards. It is about balance, rhythm, and the quiet assurance that what is meant for you is already taking shape. The vibration of 1 brings the courage to begin, to dream, to move into the unknown. The energy of 4 brings grounding, structure, patience, and discipline. When these two merge, they create 14, the perfect harmony between creation and stability, between boldness and calm. It is the number of builders, visionaries, and silent warriors who don't need the world's approval to continue walking their path. In the teachings of awareness, progress without mindfulness is fragile. Number 14 reminds us that strength is not found in haste, but in presence. Each small, intentional step forward becomes sacred. Each pause to reflect becomes progress in disguise. This number encourages you to trust timing instead of chasing it. It teaches that growth is not measured by how quickly you reach your goal, but by how deeply you understand the journey that led you there. When you begin to resonate with 14, life itself starts to slow down. You stop fighting the current and begin to flow with it. The noise fades, the comparisons quiet. You start noticing how everything, every failure, every detour, every still moment was a necessary part of your unfolding. This number doesn't promise comfort, but it promises alignment. It promises that no effort done with sincerity is ever wasted. Even the moments that feel stagnant are quietly preparing you for transformation. So when 14 appears again on a clock, in a receipt, in your dreams, don't ignore it. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. The universe is reminding you that patience is your greatest strength and that your destiny is not behind you or ahead of you. It's forming beneath your feet right now. The question is, can you stay steady enough to let it unfold in peace? Number 27, the silent signal of alignment. Have you ever noticed a number quietly following you, not loudly demanding attention, but softly appearing at unexpected moments? You glance at your phone, and there it is. You pay a bill, and it shows again. Maybe it's carved into the rhythm of your days for a reason. That number is 27, the silent messenger of alignment. It arrives not to startle you, but to center you, to remind you that you are exactly where you are meant to be, even if you still feel uncertain or incomplete. The beauty of 27 lies in its stillness. It doesn't chase recognition, it reflects truth. The number 2 embodies compassion, harmony, and connection, your relationships with others, and the balance between giving and receiving. The number 7 represents the seeker, the inner voice that searches for wisdom beyond the material world. Together they merge into 27, a vibration that bridges heart and soul, human and divine, emotion and understanding. It's a sacred signal that your internal and external worlds are ready to align. Sometimes 27 appears in moments of confusion or exhaustion, when you're unsure whether your efforts matter. That's when its meaning deepens. It tells you that what you're doing isn't in vain. The universe is simply asking you to trust the unfolding. The growth you seek is happening quietly, beyond what your eyes can see. Just like a seed doesn't question the darkness before it sprouts, your path requires faith before result. In spiritual understanding, alignment doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means everything is connected. 27 teaches you to breathe through uncertainty and listen to your intuition instead of noise. It whispers that peace is not found in constant movement, but in balance, in knowing when to act and when to wait. The more you honor your inner stillness, the more easily your outer world begins to harmonize. So the next time you see 27, take it as a sacred pause, a quiet reminder that life isn't asking you to rush, prove, or compete. It's inviting you to realign, to trust that your timing, your path, and your unfolding are all exactly as they should be. Can you allow yourself to rest in that truth and let the universe guide your next step in silence? Number 21. The silent doorway to transformation. There comes a point in every soul's journey when the world outside begins to quiet and the transformation within begins to stir. It doesn't happen with fireworks or applause. It unfolds softly, like dawn melting into day. That is the essence of number 21, the silent doorway through which change enters your life. You may not see it coming, but you will feel it. The gentle pull of something new, something higher, something finally ready to bloom. Number 21 does not demand your attention, it invites it. It hides in plain sight on a cafe receipt, a street sign, or the glowing digits of a digital clock. The moment you start to notice its repetition, your awareness begins to shift. It's as if the universe is whispering, "You're not lost, you're transitioning." The energy of 21 holds a quiet balance between patience and movement, reflection and creation. It's the rhythm of becoming, the in-between phase, where effort transforms into manifestation, where silence begins to sing. The vibration of 2 represents harmony, empathy, and balance. The art of walking the middle path without falling into extremes. The vibration of 1 represents courage, vision, and initiation, the bold step forward into the unknown. Together they form 21, the bridge between stillness and action, unity and individuality, surrender and strength. It reminds you that transformation isn't about rushing to reach the end, it's about trusting the journey itself as sacred. From a spiritual lens, 21 is the number of divine timing. It reminds you that no moment in your life is wasted. Every challenge, delay, or disappointment is an essential part of your awakening. The flower does not bloom before its time, and neither will your purpose. When you begin to align your actions with mindfulness, rather than impatience, you allow your destiny to unfold with grace instead of struggle. So when you see 21 appear again on a license plate, a clock, or a passing thought, pause and listen. The universe is telling you, you are not waiting for change, you are becoming it. You are the seed and the bloom, the question and the answer, the silence and the song. The only question now is, will you trust your own unfolding enough to step fully into who you are meant to be? Number 44, the guardian of inner power. When the number 44 enters your path, it does not arrive softly, it arrives with presence. It stands firm, grounded, like an ancient mountain that has seen countless dawns rise and fall. This is the number of stability, protection, and divine structure, a vibration that reminds you that spiritual growth does not mean floating above life, but rooting deeply within it. In the silence of your inner world, 44 whispers, stand tall. The foundation of your destiny is being built beneath your feet. In numerology, 44 carries the doubled vibration of 4, a number that embodies discipline, order, and endurance. When doubled, This energy becomes sacred architecture, representing mastery over the material and the spiritual alike. It teaches that strength is not born from resistance, but from alignment. The walls of your reality are being reconstructed, not to confine you, but to protect the sacred space where your transformation is taking form. Each hardship you endure becomes a brick in the temple of your becoming. Spiritually, 44 is often called the master healer number. It anchors divine light into earthly form, balancing the cosmic with the practical. It's the moment when prayer turns into practice, when your faith becomes something you can touch, build, and live within. The number encourages you to look at your life as a sacred design rather than a random series of events. The obstacles you faced were not punishments, they were invitations to discover your true strength. As the Buddha said, the strongest trees are rooted in the hardest ground. In the wisdom of Baba Vanga and the visions of Nostradamus, numbers like 44 appeared, not as omens of fear, but as calls to prepare the soul for responsibility. Great changes require great stability. Before light expands outward, it must be anchored within. That is the task of 44, to prepare you for what your spirit already knows is coming. It reminds you that protection isn't given, it's awakened. The guardians you seek outside yourself are reflections of the guardian already alive within you. So when 44 repeats in your days or dreams, breathe deeply. Recognize it as the hand of the universe resting on your shoulder, saying, "You are ready to carry more light." It's a sacred reminder that the work you are doing quietly, patiently, and faithfully is building something eternal. The question is, can you feel the quiet strength rising in you, asking not for perfection, but for unwavering trust in your own divine foundation? Bonus number 99, the eternal flame of completion. There comes a time in every seeker's journey when the circle closes, not to end the story, but to begin it anew with awakened sight. The number 99 carries that sacred essence, the vibration of completion, compassion, and transcendence. It is the whisper of lifetimes fulfilled, the sigh of a soul that has walked through shadows and returned with light in its hands. When 99 enters your path, it calls you to release what no longer serves you, to rise beyond the illusions of separation, and then embrace the vast ocean of consciousness that you are truly a part of. In numerology, 9 is the number of endings, wisdom, and universal love. But when it repeats, when it becomes 99, it amplifies into a divine echo, vibrating with humanitarian purpose and cosmic unity. It is not just an ending. It is an ascension. It signifies that your spirit has learned what it came here to learn, and now stands ready to serve something greater. You are being asked not to retreat from the world, but to bless it, to give back, to teach, to heal, and to shine. For 99 is not about leaving the journey behind. It is about becoming the light that guides others through it. Spiritually, 99 represents enlightenment through compassion. It's the realization that every ending is sacred, every goodbye is divine choreography, and every loss is a teacher disguised as grief. In Buddhist wisdom, this number resonates with the teaching of impermanence, that all things arise, change, and pass away. The enlightened heart does not cling, it allows. As the great Dhammapada says, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. 99 is that wisdom made visible, the flowering of peace after the storm of attachment. Nostradamus once wrote of the twin suns of the same sky, symbols many mystics interpret as a reflection of dual enlightenment, one light human, one divine. Baba Vanga too spoke of a future age when those who suffer will become teachers and compassion will replace conflict. The energy of 99 aligns with those prophecies. It is the sign of the awakened heart that has burned through its own darkness and now radiates unending grace. When this number visits you repeatedly, it is a call to forgiveness, not only for others, but for yourself. You have carried enough weight, you have completed enough cycles, now it is time to be free. So, as you stand at the edge of this new threshold, look not with sorrow, but with gratitude. The number 9 does not mourn what is leaving, it celebrates what is returning: peace, purpose, and divine remembrance. The universe is asking you to step fully into your highest vibration, to love without limit, to give without fear, and to see without judgment. Every soul you meet is a reflection of your own evolution, and as this eternal flame of completion burns within you, ask yourself quietly, are you ready to let go of what was, so you may finally become what you were always meant to be? Closing, the symphony of sacred numbers. And so, we arrive at the quiet end of this sacred journey, not a final destination, but a moment of pause within the eternal rhythm of existence. Each number that has spoken to you is not separate, but part of one continuous breath, one cosmic song flowing through the heart of creation. Together, they form the unseen geometry of your soul, the map of lessons learned, energies awakened, and truths remembered. The path of numbers is not about prediction, it is about reflection. It whispers not of fate written in stone, but of possibilities written in light. The teachings of Buddhism remind us that all forms are impermanent, yet within impermanence lies infinite beauty. So, as these numbers dance through your life, do not grasp them too tightly. Instead, allow their meanings to breathe through you, transforming fear into faith and confusion into clarity. When you begin to see patterns in the unfolding of your days, know that it is the universe speaking in the only language it truly knows, the language of synchronicity. Each repetition, each symbol, is a reminder that you are being guided, shaped, and prepared for something beyond comprehension. Nostradamus spoke of a time when the veil between spirit and matter would thin, when those who once doubted would awaken to the call of their own higher consciousness. Baba Vanga saw humanity stepping into an age of luminous wisdom, where compassion would be the new law of existence. Perhaps that time is now, not in the stars above, but in the heart within. For every number, every message, and every silence carries a reflection of your own divinity. When the mind quiets, you begin to see the signs were never outside you, they were always you. And as this journey through sacred numerology gently closes, remember the most profound lesson of all, that life is not asking you to become something new, but to remember who you have always been. You are both the student and the sage, the seeker and the truth. Each vibration, each sacred number, has simply been leading you home to that eternal awareness. The cycles may end, the paths may change, but consciousness continues unfolding endlessly like the lotus rising through still water. So as you take a deep breath and let these energies settle into your being, ask yourself, which number has called your name the loudest? Which truth has stirred your heart the deepest? And are you ready to walk forward, not as who you were, but as who you truly are, a reflection of the infinite, a vessel of light, and a whisper of the timeless soul that has always known the way?